This is the tutorial for playing online on the XKT WTSL mod and playing in WTSL Tennis Elbow 4 tournaments. So when you launch the Tennis Elbow 4 on the XKT WTSL mod, this is what you're going to see. It's pretty much the same as with the other mods. It's based off of XKT, so the menus are the same. The main difference on the presentation of the mod is the backgrounds and the loading screens, and some of the fonts are different. So that's on the presentation side, but on the playing side, when it comes to the gameplay, the main difference is the characters. So to see the WTSL characters, you go to the training club, then you go to character sheets, and then here in character sheets you're not going to see the career mode button that you see on XKT and the other mods, because it's disabled, because in the WTSL mod the characters have fixed stats, you see you can't change them, and the animations are fixed, so you can't change the animations. What you can change is the grunt. You can see here, so you can use any grunt that's available, and you can modify the faces and the accessories. All of this is changeable. You can also change the flag, so you can put your own flag. You can't change height or weight. You can't change the styles, and also the characters. Some of them come with strategies, so that's they've been programmed. A few of them have been programmed just to emulate the way that the characters play in real life. So aside from that, the other main difference between the WTSL characters and XKT base mod is that the settings for online are locked on no previews, average auto positioning, and no footwork boost. So it's similar to XKT settings for XKT for mini games tournaments, except for in terms of the auto positioning, and the builds are on free mode. The builds are free mode, so that means that we can have 100% on every stat. However, all the ATP WTSL builds are on 700 points left. So that gives us, and that's how we're able to balance all the characters against each other, is by having the same number of points consumed and points left. So the points left is 700. So in order to access the characters, you would go to load player here, and here in load player we have a list of 94 ATP characters and 49 WTA characters, and many of the characters are just single versions, but a few of them are duplicated. If they're duplicated, that means that there's different animations. So they have the same stats for the same character. So Alexander Zverev, all the Zverevs will have the same stats, but if you look on this one, he has a different forehand and backhand to the next one. You see, from different modders, but the stats will be the same. So this is the list of, you have all the characters are listed alphabetically by their first name. So to find the WTA characters, you also have to go alphabetically. The male ones will have M in their name, and female ones will have F in their name. So it's just an alphabetical listing of all the 94 ATP and 49 WTA characters. That's not including the duplicates. So there's a total of over 150 slots used. So you can see some of these in X, these are my versions that I saved over to these slots. I made an Australian Open 2017 version of Federer, so it just means that I changed the costumes. I can even change the face if I want to, and the hair, but for these ones mostly I just changed the costumes. But you can't change anything else about the characters when you load them, other than what I mentioned earlier. Their flag, their grunt, and their face and accessories, hair, skin, etc. You can even change the skin. So as with XKT, some of them do have skins which include accessories, so like an arm sleeve, Shelton, but that means you're gonna have to change their face so they'll look a bit different. So some people like to play around with how their characters look, and you still have the ability to do that on this mod. So I'm gonna load Australian Open 2017 Federer here and play a little few points afterwards. So this mod is designed to like emulate the ATP and WTA characters, how the points are played out, with as much realism as is possible within the game, and it's calibrated with the online player base. So like the best online players, how rallies at the highest level play out, in order to make it as similar as possible to real life. So an average of 4 to 5 rally length on medium to fast surfaces, and on the slower surfaces it can get to 6, 7, because unlike in real life, it's really difficult to reduce the rally length beyond that. So yeah, so here we have the female ones, Alexandra Ayala and Serena Williams. So now we're still on the offline side of things. So on the offline side of things, you can also add your own previews. So new players might not be able to play without any markings of where the ball is going to go, where's the right place to hit the ball. So you can put these on if you're new. But once you play online, this will be automatically disabled, because online is designed it's on tour settings, on the WTSL tour settings. So so that the gameplay is consistent amongst everyone that's using the mod. So it's a custom mod. So everything online we fix so that it's fair for everyone. Another thing that's different about this mod compared to the base XKT is that, as I mentioned, how all the settings are fixed, the stats are fixed. If anyone finds a way to change any of those things which are fixed, you'll be able to detect it when you play. Sometimes people don't install the mod correctly. They somehow have XKT characters in the WTSL mod, and WTSL players can tell if that's the case, or if they changed it from free mode to realistic mode somehow, and play. So I'm going to start a match now. Just play a few points. You see the loading screen that comes up. Oh, I have the experimental animations on. Oh my goodness. Well,
poor technique.
So, well, let me do a serve now. Oh my goodness, I'm
nope.
All right, that's that. So, how you're able to detect that your characters are loaded correctly, that someone's not cheating, is when you go to match statistics, you can see in brackets above the player your character. So your character will be automatically detected based on the settings. So average auto pause, no footwork boost, etc. And then also the stats. So if everything is as designed, is as set for that character, it will be detected. So this character is Roger Federer. Everything, all the stats and the settings are correct. And this is Rafael Nadal at master level 10. So M10 for master level 10. For beginner, it will be B0 to 10. For incredible, it will be I 1 to 10. Then there's Pro P1 to 10. And then there's Master. I think there's one other level. So for both the CPU and the human player, all versions of the character which are permissible in the mod are stored and detected once you load the character. So if there's any version which of the character
game settlement,
actually a fake, non-permissible character, or someone that's cheating, you will not be able their name will not show up in brackets. So yeah, but that's technically not possible when you have this mod loaded correctly. So this is Master 10 Rafa. If I was to play the game against Pro 10 Rafa, it would show us Rafa Nadal P10, and then Junior will be Rafa Nadal J10, and then also you have different sublevels. So another thing to note is that the WTA builds are different from the ATP builds. So for the WTA builds, we've set all the points to 900. So 900 points left, which means they consume less skill points. So they're weaker overall, less power. The main thing is less power. The speed is very similar, maybe slightly less because the WTA builds are smaller, so we're trying to be as realistic as possible. They cover a bit less ground. So technically, if you play with an ATP character against a WTA character, there's a mismatch and it's not fair. So we're trying to replicate that as much as possible, but also adhering to the data that we have from real life about WTA tennis gameplay. So how the rallies play out, etc. So, and their spin. All the WTA builds have a bit less, have generally, let's say, 10 to 15% less spin on average than the ATP builds, because females generate less spin on average than males. So the highest spin character, I think, is a Iga Swiatek, which is basically the average spin of a male character. So yeah, with all the characters, we've also modeled their mind stats, but the mind stat does not come into play when you're playing against a human. So they're not as tightly modeled as the physical stats, which directly impact the gameplay. The mind stats may impact when you play against the CPU, or when you have doubles and one of your partners is a CPU. This can come into play, but not when you're playing online, because mind stats are not they're not a factor when you're playing online. Okay, so the builds are generally different. Spin is less. Also, for all the characters in the mod, we've graded each stat within a range. So, like for power, it'll maybe be between like 87 and like 93 for the power stats. The serve, it can go from like 88 or so to 100% for the serve. And this is all done to ensure that the gameplay in online amongst the best players and even the less good players. We've used all the players to test out the mod to make sure that the gameplay is as realistic as possible, and we're able to prevent game breaking, prevent people spamming certain tactics with success. So top online players, they return very well, so we have to bump up the power to reflect that, to counteract that. And also the game itself, we have to work within the constraints of what's possible in the game and the way it's been built. And we've had to adjust over time with the updates to the game, the base game. So yeah, so that's that about the characters. So how do we even get to this mod? How do you even find this mod? Because a lot of people seem to be unaware of the mod, or not know how to download it, or not know how to download it properly. So Um, you can find the mod like where you find the rest of the mods in mod management. So you browse, it's one of the featured mods, so it should not be too far from the XKT mod, which is the most popular, is the base mod for most of the mods on here. And so it's going to have XKT in brackets. So you scroll to the right, animes mod. This is very important, but you should not enable the animes mod when you're playing online because it conflicts. Unless someone also has it downloaded, they won't be able to join you. So here, it's not too far, XKT WTSL. You download, you subscribe to the mod. So you click on subscribe, and all the ones you've subscribed to will appear in your subscription collection. These are the ones I advise for those who want to play online and offline with the most highest quality content. Well, it's been quality controlled by the XKT team, but there's a lot of other nice mods. Some of them I have installed, which are not official XKT mods, but they're also good mods. So AO25 outfits, the outfit mods and court mods by Damio, those are good too. So you can just, oh, scrolling is not working. Well, there's more. So you just go browse, and but the ones that have XKT on them, I think you can, in the search feature, you can add XKT, well, type of mod. So this would be a tour based mod. Yeah, this would be a tour based mod, but when you're searching here, you browse. Oh, okay, it's not here. So yeah, but we're just concerned with the XKT WTSL mod. So there you go. That's how you find it. And so then to enable the mod, you have to select profile XKT WTSL and then apply and reload. So I had it launched as XKT WTSL, so that option doesn't pop up. But now I'm going to switch to XKT. So I do the same thing. Apply and reload mod. A lot of people say it's better to just restart after you switch. So apply and then restart. But because sometimes this doesn't function well, but I'm going to use this function in this video. So apply and reload mods, and normally it should just switch automatically just like that. So now you see XKT is loaded. So I do the same. WTSL, apply and reload mod, and then XKT WTSL loads. So the next bit that's important to know, oh well, it didn't reload properly here. You see something? Yeah, so sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes it's better just restart the mod. Well, let me try this again. Restart the game, sorry. This is a live tutorial, not editing it and everything, so let's just hope everything goes well. Well, I might have to close the game right now and then relaunch it, so because this doesn't look right. Let me see what happens. I mean, it still looks like it's okay, but that's not how it should look.
Game settlement.
Okay, so anyways, we're going to move to the next part that's important to know, is playing online. So you go to online and LAN, and then here you've got your Wi-Fi. Select your Wi-Fi source, whether it's VPN or Wi-Fi, and then you can change your name. And here you have your elos listed and number of games played. Something's wrong. I've not played 0 games. I've played more like 3.5k games. So, and then you go to host game, and then hopefully someone will join. Let me see if I can get someone to join right now. So I'm gonna rename. I'm just gonna use my fake Roger Federer. I can rename myself to anything I want and then host. So I'm gonna host now. So when in the hosting screen, these things will be locked. So you can actually accept all players. That should also be locked, because when you accept all players, that means someone that doesn't have the full version can join. But this is locked on free mode, so players can have 100% at all skills. But the caveat is that once you're using the XKT WTSL mod, only people with the XKT WTSL mod can join you, and on the same version. They have to be on the same version. So WTSL players need to be looking out for updates all the time. So they need to be looking out for updates, because if you're on the different version, that means your stats will be different, because the stats get updated, or the animations, or sometimes the base XKT gets updated. So but since this mod depends on the base XKT, you're always going to be on the you're always going to have it's always going to be updated relative to XKT, but not always updated on the WTSL part, which is the characters. So essentially, so this version is 4.2T. We won't be able to play with people with older versions. On XKT you can, but on WTSL you can't, because on WTSL if you play with someone with an older version, that means that person relative to you is cheating, because their stats for certain characters might be different. So it's a competitive imbalance. Sometimes the difference will be really little, but if there's a difference, it's a difference, and it's invalid, and they won't even be able to join you. So you do see some people hosting with older versions, and then they wonder why no one can join them. Is because they haven't checked for an update. So I'm going to create game, and someone's going to join me now. Hopefully the connection is good. All right, I'm hosting. All right, this is fake Rafa Nadal. He's a very good player, 2000 elo. Our ping is high, so yeah. Another thing to note is the delay. What you should set the delay to. You should set it to about half ping plus 20 milliseconds. But if the auto delay is much higher than that, that means that the connection might be poor. But the ping looks stable, so this must have just been a faulty. Yeah, now you see it's now reset. It's reset to 167. So that's still high, because it's much more than half ping. So if the delay is a bit high, I'll go at least maybe one below. But normally normally the rule of thumb would be about half ping plus 20 milliseconds. So that would be like 117 or so or 83 for this ping. But I'm going to use something much higher, maybe 2 below the auto delay, so 133. But yeah, if the auto delay is much higher than that rule of thumb, that means that the connection might be shoddy between you two. So now I'm going to accept. So he's also on this mod, so he's able to play me. If I go to the menu, you can see that his character is correctly loaded, so nothing's wrong with his mod configuration. And mine is Roger Federer, so we're going to have a competitively balanced match. I'm only going to play a couple of points. This part of the video was scripted, because I told him to join me, just to make sure I'm not waiting for anyone. And he's a good player, similar level to me, so our rallies should be decent. Although I'm not playing from home, so my level might be a bit bad. Okay, the connection's not good. No wonder. You see why the character is doing this weird stuff?
That was some shots.
It's because I didn't load didn't restart the game when I should have, because something happened when I pressed apply and reload mod. So you should actually
magnificent.
It's just better overall. Wow, I've won 2 points against him.
Disappointing effort.
That's that. Alright, so I'm gonna leave. So if you leave early in a match, you get a penalty to deter people doing that, giving up early in matches. So I told him to cancel my penalty because this is scripted. I'm not just quitting in the middle of the match. So yeah.
Game settlement.
Some system, so the elo you gain equals the elo the other person loses, unless you quit early or he quits early, and then he gets a penalty on his elo for quitting. But I told him to cancel the penalty. Oh, he quit. So instead, okay, he quit early enough that there's no penalty. But if he quits, like let's say after a few games, then he'll probably get a penalty. So higher elo means you're generally a better player. However, I would say as someone who's experienced that the elo from online games is assuming that every match you play and every game you play, you're playing fully competitively as if you're in a tournament. However, a lot of people are playing just to practice, and people can pick and choose their opponents. But the elo overall, as a rule of thumb, tells you how good the player is. Now, the general ballpark of his skill level. Now, this segues into the main reason why this mod exists is for playing online, but also in tournaments, competitively balanced and fair. That's why we have the characters who have fixed stats. They're balanced against each other, so the stats don't vary too much, but enough that you see differences. So now, how do you see those online tournaments and the online and the lobby? So this button, chat lobby, this leads you to the WTSL Discord. This button leads you to the tournament page. So the WTSL Discord is a good place to find people who play on this mod, because the more popular mod is XKT, you'll see more people hosting on XKT generally. Oh, so wow. Today, right now, there's someone hosting on WTSL, which is cool. But generally, more people host on XKT. It's more public, more publicized. Everything. The mod is a bit easier it's more accessible, let's say, for everyone. Maybe a bit easier to play on because online you can have previews on that mod, and you can pick your own settings. But in WTSL, everything is locked to the settings designed for the WTSL tour. So to find more players, you can go to the Discord here, chat lobby, and this will lead you to the Discord, which I'm already in. So in the Discord, there's different channels here, and I'll just open it from within my desktop because I have it open. And here you've got different channels, and yeah, you can just sign up for tournaments here, see the results, and then just all the different information about the tour. You can watch tour events here and the broadcasting channels, and there's different channels for different things, to talk about tennis, to talk about the tour, to ask for sets, to play with people, read interviews, etc. So yeah, this is the Discord channel where you can follow up on the tour. We post the results in a results channel, and using this results, using these screenshots, we're able to generate statistics for matches actually. So that's why we report them in the server, so that we can get statistics and also proof of result, and also by reacting to the results, so we can engage as a community. So currently there's an exhibition going on with prizes on offer from community donations, a tiebreaker exhibition, and so people are posting the results as the matches go along. And yeah, so that's just about the Discord. And then most of the tour is managed within the Discord, between the Discord and the website, but we say that everyone who participates on the tour should have a Discord account and a challenge account, because we need to communicate with you. Online tournaments, the WTSL online tournaments page, and from there on the WTSL online tournaments page, you can see the list of all the tournaments that we have. So on this WTSL T4 page, you've got rankings, so you can see the rankings of all the players. So, and on the rankings, we have our own elo system, which is updates based on matches played only. And so you can see the race points and the total points. So this is the ranking of all the players that play on the WTSL tour, and it follows exactly the real ATP and WTA system for the rankings. So we have multiple tours. We have the ATP tour, the WTA tour, and the competitive doubles tour. The creative characters tour is not really started yet, but we haven't started any tournaments on that tour yet. But WTA has been running for 1 year, and the competitive doubles tour has been running for 1 year, and the ATP character tour has been running for 4 years. So we also have, so here you can see the tournaments, the tournament list. So on the drop down, you can pick the year, so 2025. We had all these tournaments, and you can see the winners on the right. And so we've been running them from 2022, and next year will be our fifth year running tournaments. Sorry. So here you can see the tournaments which are open for sign up. Let's go with the Australian Open first. And on the sign up page, you select your player, you select your character, and then you create we use an external service challenge, which allows us to host various kinds of tournaments in different formats. Gives us a lot of flexibility. So you have to create an account on challenge, and then when you get your login, you fill in your login here, and then click sign up, and then accept your invite. Then accept your invite on challenge, and you'll be signed up for a tournament. So let me see if there's a tournament I haven't signed up for yet that I'm intending to play. So let me go back. I have not signed up for in 2026. I'm planning to play Adelaide as a warm-up. So here I go here, select my player. This is me. Who should I use for Adelaide? I don't know, maybe Fonini. Then I put my challenge login. And boom. That's me signed up. Click OK to accept. I go to confirm. I go to confirm. Yeah, I should already be signed up. Yeah, because I'm an admin of the tournaments, so I don't need to confirm, but most of you will need to confirm whenever you sign up. Just accept the invitation. So that's me signed up for a tournament, Adelaide. So yeah, other things you can see on this page are the live scores and statistics. So on the statistics page, you can see head-to-head information about all the players. So let me check my head-to-head. Param and Puya is the first one, I guess, because they're one of the next matches, which is up. Yeah, Param played Pura in the year-end exhibition, but you can select any two players. Let me pick people that have set up their avatar and their profile. Let me not pick one which is too embarrassing for me. So where am I? Who do I have a relatively even head-to-head with? Oh, wait, let me pick Mad for it. We've played close matches. I think it's like 3-all between us. I've got some people on the tour who have great dominating head-to-heads, but I'm not going to show them right now. When you join the tour, you can see who they are. So me versus Mad for it. And where did we meet? Well, I lead 3-2 actually. So he won our first meeting in 3. I won the second one in the Boss Open. Then Tokyo, he won in 3. Paris, I won in 3. And WTSL Finals, I won in 2. I won 2 in Paris and WTSL Finals 2. So yeah, so he's had a better career than me, even though it's his first year, I would say. 6 titles, I only have 3. Better win-loss overall. Yeah, 70% career win session. Me 56. So I had my best year in 2025. That's where I peaked and became one of the higher ranked players on the tour. So yeah, there's that on this head-to-head. We've also got statistics from the matches, which is why we keep the screenshots. This is updated in let's say quarter by quarter basis, not in real time. So we just have to canvas the data over periods of time, and then we collect the data. And yeah, so we can see the tour leaders by different categories. So by first serve percentage, these are the best first servers, so they probably serve less pace. Who has the best net? Who's best at the net? It's also a factor. You also need to factor in how much data there is. So this guy's not played much, but yeah. Let's look at people who have played much. These are top players. Yeah, they've got very good net win percentage. Surprised Barbosa's not here. Okay, he's here 60%. Yeah. I'm not very good at the net. Mine is pretty low. So yeah, we've got stats on all this is from the match logs. So yeah, that's what we've got here, and then you can see the match predictions of the upcoming matches based on their elo. And as I showed you before, everyone has elo, which is automatically calculated from the matches played, only official matches. So the Buffy lost his last match played, so he lost 18 elo, and it depends on the number of sets played in the match. If you overperform your expected result, then you gain elo. If you underperform, you lose more elo, etc. So it's just like with the in-game, except as I mentioned before, when you're playing in-game, you can play like 200 sets a day and farm people, let's say, or just inflate your elo or deflate your elo by doing that. But this elo is only taking into account matches played, official matches played, not exhibitions. So it's pretty accurate as to reflect the overall level of players. So retired players will have their elo fixed in time from the last match they played, and that's an accurate reflection of how good they are on the tour versus in-game elo, which can fluctuate and might not be totally predictive for matches. So these predictions come from the WTSL elo, which we generated ourselves. Wow, this page is not working. Let me reload it. Well, okay, I think it's good again. Yeah, so now I've sorted from low to high. I didn't mean to do that, but the page stopped working. Well, yeah, it's good now. So that's not high to low. Toggle that. Well, anyways, so showing you the rankings, the tournaments, live score statistics, and we've also got media, so interviews here, contact page, then different membership plans for the future. Oh yeah, here we go. It's sorted by elo now. So you can see the best players overall. So the best of all time are DeBuffy. He has the highest elo ever accrued, 2237. And Fractals was a former player. He's retired now, so no more ranking points, but he's one of the highest ever elo players on the tour. So this is the ranking is also your true ranking based on the last 52 weeks. But your peak level, the level over time that you have will be reflected in your WTSL elo. Okay, so that's pretty much everything about playing the mod, signing up for tournaments, and the WTSL community. So here we have the main page of the site. Yeah, so all I've shown so far has been mostly on the ATP tour. So just to mention, we have tournaments on the WTA tour, which started in 2025. So it just follows exactly the WTA tour in real life. You choose between a total of 49 characters. So, and it just runs like the ATP tour. All the functions are the same. And it's just there's less tournaments so far, but we are inviting more people who are interested in playing the WTA tour to sign up and play some of the events. So yeah, that's everything about WTSL playing on the mod. And if you have any questions, feel free to reply in the comments, ask questions in the comments, ask in the Discord, and please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll come up with a part 2 which is more detailed and scripted than this. But a lot of people are not sure what the WTSL mod is about and the tour, and need more information, so I just thought I should make this video, and hopefully it helps whoever watches it. Alright, thank you, and all the best in your 2026 season for those who will be playing online on the WTSL tour, and keep having fun playing tennis elbow, and please support the XKT team as much as is possible, and WTSL will also thanks everyone for the support. Okie dokie. Bye bye everyone.